All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday and a big show. Congressman Mike Kelly from the great state of Pennsylvania joins us. You know, tomorrow, Pennsylvania has primary, and so do many other states. And what a blast we all got last night when we learned, supposedly, that Ted Cruz and John Kasich teamed up. They're in cahoots to stop Donald Trump. Now, Ted Cruz says, as you'll hear in a minute before we get to the congressman, you know, people should vote for me in Indiana. John Kasich isn't on the ballot for the most part. He doesn't want you to vote for him in Indiana. He wants you to vote for me. But listen to what Kasich said, and that's what they're doing, by the way. Supposedly, Kasich is not competing in Indiana. He's going to concentrate elsewhere, so Cruz could go head-to-head with Trump in Indiana, making it easier for Cruz to do well. But listen to Kasich. I don't think he got the whole message.
My team met with the Cruz people, and they made a recommendation to me. I said, I think it's fair because, you know, in some places we haven't spent a lot of resources. I don't see this as any big deal, other than the fact that I'm not going to spend resources in Indiana. He's not going to spend them in other places. So what? What's the big deal?
So who should your supporters vote for in Indiana?
Well, I've never told them not to vote for me. They ought to vote for me. But I'm not over there campaigning and spending resources.
He just said, I didn't tell them not to vote for me. They should vote for me. Cruz thinks otherwise. We'll get to Cruz in a second. But here's Donald Trump today responding to all of this.
Oh, did you see the news today? Did you see where they band together, where they collude? You know, it's collusion. If you collude in business or if you collude in the stock market, they put you in jail. But in politics, because it's a rigged system, because it's a corrupt enterprise, in politics, you're allowed to collude. So they colluded, and actually I was happy, because it shows how weak they are. It shows how pathetic they are.
All right, so here you got the announcement comes from both camps that they're working together to stop Trump. And in Indiana, the primary is next Tuesday in Indiana. Kasich is going to stop campaigning. He doesn't want you to vote for him. He wants you to vote for Cruz. And Kasich says, I didn't tell anybody not to vote for me. They should vote for me. Well, somebody's a little confused. Before we go to Mike Kelly, congressman from Pennsylvania, let's sit back and listen to exactly what Ted Cruz thinks this deal, or collusion as Trump puts it, is all about. Watch this.
It is big news today that John Kasich has decided to pull out of Indiana to give us a head-to-head contest with Donald Trump. That is good for the men and women of Indiana. It's good for the country to have a clear and direct choice. After discussions with the Kasich campaign, we made a decision about allocating resources. We decided to allocate our time and energy and resources on the state of Indiana. Governor Kasich decided to allocate his resources elsewhere. I think that made sense from both campaigns.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now earlier you heard me talk about the fact that Kasich said, I'm not telling anybody not to vote for me in Indiana. So I don't know what they're talking about here exactly.